12, 17 through 44. And like I said, you need your calculator. All right. Now, normally, I think last year and the years before this, I skipped this section because we haven't really even done a section on square roots. But recently on the SATs, they've been doing a lot of things that have to do with radicals or square roots and with different types of square roots. All right. So this is strictly an introduction. Strictly an introduction, which means it should be really simple. All right. The next couple chapters will eventually talk about square roots and stuff like that. But it is something that we have an extra day, so I thought it was okay to show you guys that. All right. So we should be done early, and then when we're done early, I also want to tell you that on Monday we're going to do some IXL stuff. That's just a review of all the stuff we've done today. Tuesday and Wednesday will be the review, and then our test will be on Thursday. All right. So I thought this week was really good. I thought we spent some good time making sure you understand all the rules. So keep that in mind. I'm going to tell you what IXLs that are going to be due on Monday. So if you want to get started over the weekend, I think that would be a good idea also, because there's 5 of them that I want you to do. All right. Now, with this up here, write each expression in a radical form. Let's first talk to you about a radical. All right. A radical is another name for the square root. All right. So when we talk about this right here, the first note I want you to make is the numerator is the power. The numerator is the power, and the denominator, we say, is the root. All right. Now, I'm not even sure if you know what I'm saying yet, so let me try to fix that. All right. So that is written as the square root of 12. Now, normally, look right there, that's the square root of 12. The numbers are hidden. The numbers are hidden. What do I mean by that? There is an understood 2 and an understood 1 there. Is everybody okay with that now? That's how simple it is. All right? So if you're going to write it as a radical, that means it's going to involve a root. All right? So for question number 2, again, we're talking about a square root. Now, do I have to put the 2 out in front of that? No. And then, I almost made a mistake. The 3 goes on the outside, and the x goes on the inside. Now, how did I know the 3 went on the outside? Because only what? The x is being raised to the what? To the 1/2 power. Does everybody hear me? All right. If I did this, if I did 3x to the 1/2, that would be the square root of 3x. Everybody okay with that? Any questions? All right. So now we're going to write it as an exponent. So if we write it as an exponent, this would simply be written as 33 to the what? 1/2 power. All right. And if you forget, that's an understood 2, and this is to the 1st power. All right. And again, we'll do 100 of these, and then you'll be fine. All right. It's just a different way of writing things. All right. Number 4. Now, this one involves a what? Parentheses, because the whole thing is being raised to the what? To the 1/2 power. Everybody okay with that now? All right. Now, let's talk about what this is asking. Number 5. Most people don't know that the cube root of 512 is 8. Most people don't know that that's 8. Why is it 8? Can somebody tell me? Very good. That's exactly what they're asking. Exactly correct. It's saying what number times itself 3 times is 512. And the correct answer is what? 8. All right? And so number 6. What times what times what times what times what's 243? I'm going to take a shot at it. Very good. 3. All right. Of course, most people don't know that, but if you think about it, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. And 81 times 3 is kind of easy, right? 243. So that's how it's not that hard to figure out. You could multiply by 3s, right? You should be able to multiply by 3s pretty quickly. All right. Now, let's jump into the calculator real quick. So everybody take their calculator out. All right. Now, for me personally, I would never write the cube root of 512. I would never write the cube root of 512. I want everybody to write in on their calculator 512. Then I want you to hit the caret button. And then the cube root is the same thing as to what power? 1/3. 1/3. So now just type in 1 divided by 3 and hit equals. Everybody see how nice that is? It's very simple, very, very simple. Now I want everybody to listen to me one more time, so because I don't really like, we didn't do a very good definition here, but is everybody comfortable? That's saying, it's asking a question. What number times itself 3 times is 512? All right, so over here, I want everybody to type in on their calculator, 243 caret 1/5. And it should come out to be 3. Everybody good with that? All right. So now you got to really pay attention. All right, eyes back up so I can show you something. I want everybody to type in 3. Then I want you to hit the math button. All right. Now I want everybody to go to number 5. Now do you see where that X in the corner is? Right, that means you have to put that first. Then type in 512. And then hit enter. Do you with me? It's 8. Now, if you go to math again, hit math again for me. The cube root is a common problem. That's why they went ahead and put in a what? Cube roots. So if you hit the 4, I believe is what it is, right? And then you type in 512 and hit enter again, guess what? It's still the same. So I'm just showing you now how to use your calculator. All right? You can decide. All right? You can decide. So now let's practice. Now there is no 5th root, so you got to hit what first? 5. And then you go to math. Then you hit the... And then just all I'm asking you to do is type it in, and then I'm not going to ask you again. All right? So that way I know you know what I'm saying. If you're not typing it in, then you don't know whether or not you know what we're doing. All right? Anybody have any questions with that? Pretty easy. All right? So now, 343 to the 1/3. All right, everybody try that. And then you could obviously see that that will be 7, right? 7. All right, I don't mind you using your calculator because we're learning. All right? But eventually, I'd like for you to know 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. All right? Now, number 8. Can anybody tell me what that is without using a calculator? What is it?
Is it 4?
Nope.
Hold on a second.
No, I don't want you using a calculator.
Okay,
I want you to think about it.
So it's gonna be 16 times 4 on the bottom, which I'm not quite sure if that is.
No. It's what times what times what times what is 1/16.
Okay.
What times what times what times what is 1/16?
1/4.
1/4 times 1/4 is 1/16.
Oh.
What is it?
1/2.
Of course. Thank you. 1/2. Right, it is 1/2. All right? Because why? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is what? 16. And 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. Now listen, I'm trying to get you to do probably too much. I'm trying to get you to listen to what I'm saying, and then some of you are writing, and I'm not sure if you're hearing what I'm saying. All right, does everybody understand how I want you to know that's 1/2, right? Because 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. And I'm trying to show you that it's easier to look at them as a numerator, do the numerator first, and then do the what? Denominator. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? All right, so now let's see if we can do number 8. All right, now we already know what the cube root of 343 is. What's the cube root of 343? 7. Now please pay attention. I know it's not the easiest thing. All right, I'm training your brain how to think about numbers. So you're thinking about it a little differently. It's a little hard at first, but if you listen to me without using a calculator, then you're going to be fine. I promise. All right? So does everybody understand the cube root of 343, as we already said, was 7, right? Now, what did I tell you the numerator was? The power. So then the final answer is what? Say it.
49.
Of course, 49. Why is it 49? Because you're taking the cube root first, and then you square it. All right? Now, I could square 343 and then take the cube root, but it's always easier to take the cube root first. All right? Come on now. You got to listen. All right? Stay with me. All right. So what is the fourth root of 81? We should know that. What times what times what times what's 81? 3. And then 3 to the third power is what? 27. Guys, I want you to know that. I want you to know that. All right. Am I going to let you use a calculator? Yes, of course. I don't care. Use a calculator. Right? But I'm trying to make your brain the calculator. All right? Does everybody understand what I'm saying on this now? You got to tell me if you're struggling a little bit. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now, all right. The cube root of 216. Say it. 6. Very good. Whoever said that. Very, very good. And now 6 to the fourth. Thank you. 1, 2, 9, 6. Now, how do we do that? All right. Do you want to explain it, or you want me to explain it? All right, here we go. Listen, do you agree that we said the cube root of 216 was 6, right? And so then I'm just going 6 times 6. Is everybody with me? Come on, look up now. This is the important part. This is how, it's not that I'm, gosh, so good with numbers. It's that I'm just manipulating the numbers to my favor. So it's easy. It's nothing difficult about that. All right? So I want someone to tell me what 6 times 6 times 6 is. What is it? Wait a minute. 6 times 6 times 6 is what? There's no reason to guess. It's right up there on the board. It's 216. Right? Come on now. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216 because that's what the cube root of 216 is. What? 6. Stop. I don't even care. Just ignore. All right? Concentrate with me. All right? Now, look. I'm asking you to multiply 216 times 6 in your head. Wow, what's 6 times 2? 12. 6 times 16 isn't that hard. 96. Everybody agree? That's not that hard. It looks like, wow, you're really good at numbers. No. I knew 6 times 2 was 12. I could just put that down because I knew I wasn't going to do what? Carry a number over. So everybody with me on that? All right. Now, if you want, type it on your calculator, 216, caret 4/3, and let's see if it's 1296. Everybody good? All right. Here we go. Number 12. What is the square root of 49? 7. So this is now 1/7 cubed. What did we say 7 cubed was? 7 squared is 49. 7 cubed was
243.
343. That's okay. I like it. All right. 343, 1 over 343. All right. Now I'm getting you practice on your calculator. Type in 1/49 caret 3 divided by 2. Now, remember, you probably should put parentheses around the 1/49. And then it'll come out to be some weird decimal, right? And then math, enter, enter. And it should be 1 over 343. Is everybody good with that? All right, your calculator, like I said, is a powerful, powerful tool. You got to know how to use it. All right, you got to know how to use it. All right. Now, I'm trying to see if I want you to do no, I don't want you to do 13, 14, 15. I think I left those off, didn't I? Yeah. All right. So here we go. So somebody tell me about 17. How do I write that? Tell me. No, we're writing as a radical. And then? Well, think about it now. 2. There you go. Right. If you needed that. Is it necessary to put the 2 and the 1? No. All right. So what about 21 now, guys? How do I write that as an exponent? What would that be? Tell us.
It could be 26 to the 1/2 power.
That's exactly right. All right. Now tell me about 25 real quick. What's the cube root of 8? Somebody tell me what the cube root of 8 is. 2, right? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, right? What do you think the cube root of 1 is? What's the cube root of 1, right? So since it's 0.001, it's probably what? Bless you. 0.1, right? Now how did I know it's 0.1? Because if I multiply 0.1 times 0.1, that's 0.01. Everybody agree with that? You got to think about the decimals. And then 0.01 times 0.1 would be 0.001. All right? Those decimals are good to review if you didn't see that. All right? Okay. So let's type it on your calculator now. Tell me.
15.
Somebody said 15. Is that correct?
Yes.
15. All right, let's look at 37. All right, so 37. What's the cube root of 8, guys? Wait a minute. What's the cube root of 8? 2 squared. 4. All right. Now, again, you guys, I'm just trying to train your brain to see it differently. Right? Check it on your calculator to make sure. Right? Okay. Here we go. Now, I was hoping you could do 41. What's the cube root of 125? Probably. No. Well, wait a minute now. Yeah, 25 times 25 is 625. So 5, right? Because 5 times 5 is 25, and then 5 quarters is 125. So then 5 to the 4th power is what? 625. All right, now eventually, like I said, you'll do that enough later in the future that these numbers should come back to you a little bit quicker. So that'd be 625. Is everybody good with that? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, again, I just think there's some things you should know, right? Now, what I want you to do for me right now is I just want to see how you're doing. Go ahead and get busy. I'm going to pause it for a minute, and then I want you guys to go through and try to do 18 through 44. You just put them right on your paper. All right, I'll blow it up a little bit more, and you should be able to just write the numbers, just write the answers if you want. All right, what? I don't care. All right, put those answers down. Everybody should just supposed to be able to tell me that just means what?
2040.
The square root of 24. That's what you were supposed to write down. Now, listen, if you were to take the square root of 24 and try to put it into a fraction, this is called an irrational number. We learned that at the beginning of the year. An irrational number is a number that can't be written as a fraction. So when you take the square root of a number, if it's not a perfect square, it can't be written as a fraction. Listen to what I just said. The square root of 24 is irrational. So if you take the square root of 24 and try to convert it to a fraction, it will not let you because it can't be written as a fraction. All right, that's the definition of irrational. Irrational is a number that cannot be written as a fraction. All right, so now 25 was, let's see how, or 19, 4 radical k. Is everybody good with that? All right, now they're trying to see if you know the difference. This would be the square root of 12y. Now you're writing number 22 as 44 to the 1/2. Number 23, I would want you to write it as 2a to the 1/2, b to the 1/2. Everybody see that? And then 24, we would say 3 to the 1/2, x to the 1/2, y to the 1/2, z to the 1/2. Or if you wrote 3xy, z to the 1/2, those are what we say are equivalent. Means the same thing. Anybody have any issues? Anybody have any issues? All right, it's going to be real simple on the test. Very basic, nothing hard. You just have to know just the basics. Okay? All right, if you can do this page, they'll be easy. All right, now somebody tell me the 5th root of 1024. Bless you. Hopefully you knew that was 4. We already talked about the cube root of 216. That was what? 6. Now you're trying to put it in your mind, all right? If you have to take the cube root of 16, don't just take the cube root of 216 without thinking about it. So by hearing me, it's so easy just to look at your calculator, not make any connection between the number and the answer. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I want you at some point to be able to tell somebody the cube root of 216 is just what? 6. And if you don't think about it, you're not going to be able to tell somebody that. All right? So what's the 4th root of 10,000? That should be pretty easy. We should be able to see that's 10, right? All right. Now here we go. Now here, remember, the way I want you to tackle this, the 4th root of 16 is what? 2. The 4th root of 81 is? Say it. 3. Perfect. Now, on your calculator, if you type in parentheses 16 divided by 81, close the parentheses, caret 1/4, it'll come up as a fraction. If you hit math enter, it will turn it into 2/3. That means, come on, listen to me now, that means that is a rational number, not an irrational. All right? If it's a perfect square or a perfect 4th root, then it's rational. All right? Of course, everybody knows the cube root of 1331 is 11. Of course we do, Gavin. I knew that. Thank you. And of course, we would guess the 6th root of 64 would be 2, right? Double check me. Yep.
Why is it 2?
Because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 64. Right? And the 9th root of 512 is also what? 2, of course, right? If you don't know that, just type it in on the calculator. I think you should know the 4th root of 1/81. That's what? Close. 1/3, right? Because it's a fraction. 1/3. And of course, the 5th root of 3125 is?
5.
Very good. And the fifth root of 32 we already talked about. 2. Now again, practice typing that in the calculator because I'm telling you, you need the parentheses around it. You need the parentheses. And then math, enter, and it should turn it into 5 over 2. Everybody good? Double check yourself now. All right, we already talked about the fourth root of 625. The fourth root of 625 is 5. And then 5 to the third power, we already talked about, is 125. That's why once you get the hang of it, once you start to remember the numbers, the problems become much, much, much easier. All right? The sixth root of 729 is probably 3. And then 3 to the fifth power. I'm proud of you, 243, exactly. All right? Now, how did I know 729? Listen to me, guys. If you do 9 times 9, that's what? Hear me out, 81. Now, 81 times 9 should be pretty easy. 81 times 9 is 72 with a 9, right? Because I'm just doing 9 times 8, 9 times 1. Is everybody with me on that? All right. So again, just showing you a little bit. All right. What do you think the eighth root of 256 is? 2. Thank you. And then 2 to the third power is what?
80.
Perfect. And again, you're not taking my word for it. All right. Verify. Square root of 49 is what? 7 to the fifth power.
16,807.
I'll take your word for it. Double check him, please. All right, now the square root of 9, square root of 100, 10. Now we're going to raise that to the third power. So 3 cubed is what?
27.
10 cubed is 27 over 1,000. All right. Now again, just type the numbers into the calculator. Double check that. All right. Practice again. Last one. Cube root of 8. 2. Cube root of 125. 5. Now we're raising this to the fourth power. 2 to the fourth. 16. 5 to the fourth. That's to the third.
625.
Thank you. 625. All right. Does everybody agree? Right. That's really not that hard. All right. It's really not that hard. Just facts. All right. It'll be super easy on your test. So just plug the numbers in the calculator. All right. You'll have to convert a few of them. All right, to the exponent. All right. But I do think that's very, very simple. All right. Very, very simple. All right. Now we're going to pause this, and I'm going to. Well, actually, I'm not. I'll just show you what we're going to be doing for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, so eyes up, please. All right, because I would really actually think it's almost too much on Monday, but you guys are tough, so you're going to be able to do it. So here we go. Algebra 1 on Monday, we have Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5, SMART score of 90. Now, all those are the rules. All right, all those are the rules. Now, listen to me. All right, I always say the weekend is kind of yours, and I try to tell your parents that I want you not to just not do any math, but try to review things that you don't know. All right, you guys did fantastic this week. So I think it would be smart to get started early on those. All right, work them over the weekend, and then we review again on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we have, I think, our last test for the semester on Thursday. All right, and then I'm going to show you a few new things, but we're probably not going to have a test on it, but I'm not real sure yet. All right, so listen, pull up your iPads right now, IXL, we have a few minutes. Everybody look at Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5, and just see how simple that is. All right, those are just reviewing the rules. All right, reviewing the rules.